Hey friends, if you are new to my channel, I'm so glad you're here. I'm Tish and this is Tish Loves Home in her 50s. Hey y'all, so today's video I'm going back to the client's house that I went to a few weeks ago and working in kind of what's going to be their playroom. And I get a lot done today. You'll see that. I'm actually filming this after the fact because I forgot to do it before I went. I did get a lot done, and I did tell her some things that I'll be telling you later on in the video that I want her to get before I go back. And I'll be going back in 2 weeks, and I'm going to put the final touches on this space and hopefully even get to go do a few more little final touches upstairs. So I'm really excited for that to come together. It's a busy job. I literally worked 4 hours straight. My wheels were turning the whole time. But I'm going to be honest with you, y'all. Even though that's what this video is about, you know you always get a little something extra with me. Let me just tell you, I listened to a Priscilla Shire podcast video all the way there. It was about a 40-minute drive, 45 minutes. And just really about listening and hearing God's voice. And you know, when you think God's not working and you can't see anything, and she's so good at giving you stories to make things so applicable to your own life, you know, when you don't see God working and how he really is. And she used a cute little story about how her youngest son was telling her he wanted to do what she did when he grew up. And she was like, oh, well, you know, well, what is that exactly that I do that you want to do? And, you know, she was expecting him to talk about sharing Jesus or, you know, being a speaker or an author or whatever. And he said, nothing. You don't do anything. you just sit, you know, you just sit around the house and da-da. And she was like, okay, well, who do you think, you know, does this or that or whatever? And, but the point that she was making is that even though he couldn't see and didn't know all that she was doing to help provide for their family, we know she's working hard behind the scenes in a way and doing all these things, but he couldn't see it. Again, it's just such a great applicable message for us, isn't it? You know, I mean, same kind of thing. And I'm not in a season right now that I like. I said it, there you go. I don't like this season of life that I'm in. And I have been saying this for a while now, and y'all are probably sick of hearing it if you're on my channel and you've heard it. But I don't really have a lot of people that I can talk to about it. So I just talk to y'all because, you know, some of you don't know me that well anyway. But I don't really like this season that I'm in. But I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, you know, do the next thing. And today was a good shift for my mind because I stayed really busy. And hopefully that was a blessing to this family when I left. So anyway, none of us have it all together. None of us do. We're just doing the best that we can. And there are seasons that you like better than others, but you got to go through them. But again, even though I can't see it right now, I'm just going to have to trust and have faith that he is working on my behalf. So let's just jump on into this video and see what I got done today. So this is the room. This closet is kind of a mixture of kind of like toy storage, and there's some household things in here along with clothes as well. And so we kind of discussed kind of like how we wanted to incorporate what was in another space to make it work with what's in here. This is the room. It's just a little small room where they've been kind of using it as a playroom for probably their two youngest kids right now mainly. And then they also have this little hallway closet that you're going to see that has some of the same things. So I'm kind of combining those together. So just like last time, I had to kind of figure out like how I was going to get this started. And I like to start with just collecting trash and kind of picking some things up, getting things kind of off the floor. But anytime that you're starting a space and you just, it's kind of like putting a puzzle together and you're trying to figure out, where do I start? How do I get this going? I definitely think step one is get up the trash. You know, and if you have a lot of stuff on the floor, I really like to start clearing things off of the floor And then I kind of, as I was doing that and kind of getting familiar a little bit more with what was in the room, you know, your wheels kind of get started going a little bit. And I kind of decided pretty early on here that I wanted to focus on kind of figuring out what I was going to do in that little hallway closet and how I was going to incorporate that into what was in this closet. So I kind of left it where my first thought was, and I ended up going to this, I wanted to put all of the board games kind of in that hallway closet and then try to focus on getting the craft stuff in this closet. So I wanted to kind of start getting everything up that was kind of around the room and kind of sorting and making my groups. And I'll be honest, there's always moments, always, every job that I ever do, and even in my own house when I'm doing something like this, where it just feels like, is this going to happen? Am I really going to be able to get this in order? And knowing when I'm on a job like this, that I really I have a time frame that I want to get things done. And I usually try to do like around a 4-hour mark. So I kind of knew that. I don't think about the time quite as much at first, but usually about 2 hours in, then I start thinking, okay, I've really got to kind of get myself going so that I can make sure that I'm leaving this where I want to leave it. And even when I'm working at home, you know, how often do you just like have all day or whatever? Most of the time we are on a time limit when we're trying to get stuff done. So if you know that you only have a certain amount of time, I certainly would not recommend pulling everything out. Just start in one little spot, like I just said, maybe getting everything up or start sorting a section just so you can feel like you get some things accomplished. There are some things as I work in this room that honestly I did not get to quite finish or organize it as well as I really want to, but I know I'm going back. So I'm going to let that second visit for this space kind of be where I do some of that fine tuning. But anyway, I just kind of had to get a ballpark idea of what I wanted to do. And some of that did change as I was working. But you got to start somewhere. You know, that's the bottom line. You got to start somewhere. All right, so I'm kind of working to kind of see like how I want to get this started. I've just been pulling a few things, looking at some arts and craft things, and there are a lot of games and type box things here, and they also have this closet that has some of those kind of things in it, and then kind of some more things like that and arts and craft stuff here. So I think what I'm thinking might be better to do, I want to kind of get all of it together. And then I really feel like this would be a good place to put the box games and keep all of this other stuff in here. Not sure I can get that to fit in there, but I'm going to try because I feel like if I had all the arts and crafts in one space, that might be better. So I'm going to do like I did last time and just kind of film some updates here and there. I'm going to be doing some clothing sizes like I said earlier, and we'll get some of that going, and then I will stop and give you some updates as to where I am.
I just want to speak the name of Jesus over fear and all anxiety, to every soul held captive by depression. I speak Jesus.
and let me tell you where my thoughts are. So I think I'm going to put the arts and crafts stuff in here and try to rearrange some of this in the outside hallway. This is a tub of dress-up stuff. There's other stuff hanging there, so I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm still figuring this out. These are like her seasonal pillows and pictures and that kind of thing. This is not a good use of this center space yet. I know I can do better with that space. I've just got to find the right kind of storage things to make that happen. So I'm going to kind of get started on some of the other things, and then I'll go back and see if I can find something, or we may have to get something to make that a little bit better, because I want to use this vertical space for sure. So arts and crafts I'm going to be working on here, and I've decided, I found 2 of these. I'm going to put the Play-Doh stuff in these. I think that'll be a neater, easier way for them to use it. And since I moved that other piece in there, I'm going to put those down there and stack them. So things are happening, but it's like a puzzle, and I'm really having to think. So I'm going to focus first on Play-Doh and then the crafts, and then we'll go to the next thing. So really, you know, sometimes you just kind of have to start working. Get you a couple of things that you're focused on. For me, I was focused on the crafts and the games to start with, and that will lead you into what comes next. Now, we used to bring a lot of containers when we did a job, and sometimes they worked out great. Sometimes, most of the time, you just don't really know everything that you're going to need until you're actually working the space. So I'm going to use what I have today and what I found, but I am going to recommend and even offer to pick up some before I come again in 2 weeks. Time for another update. So I just about have the closet finished with all that I can do right now. Just got a few little things. I'm about to get everything else off the floor. And I've got this started. I'm going to suggest some more of these bins. I have an idea for the kids stuff. I'll share that with you in just a minute. And they really could even go in here, and then we could put the pillows on top, because we do want to use that vertical space. I think that looks better. Dress up stuff's over here for now, and then Christmas pillows over there, and then I'm going to finish this up. These are clothes, boy clothes. I'm not sure what she wants to do with those yet. I'm going to put them in a different bag, and then we're just going to start kind of traveling around the room. I'm going to pick up, clean up a little bit, and kind of get an idea of what I think we need at that point. And then this is kind of how this closet has ended up. I'm really happy with this, to be honest. I put all the games in here, and then I've got all the Play-Doh stuff down there. And then I used one of these for that she had something else in for the like card games and small things. And this is actually some more little tools they could use for the Play-Doh, which is all the stuff down there. And I'll get that labeled. So what I'm going to suggest, these are the things that she has in here for one of her boys. I'm going to suggest that she get a bin for each child. Depends on how much you think you want to save. I would say probably about the size of this one, that you save things for them, just important things, manageable. And then also maybe like one of the small hanging file folders for each child that you could, I'll show you the one I have at home. I have each grade, and then just little papers and pictures and things for that school year that you want to keep. That's manageable. They have 3 children, so really it would just be 3 of these they could fit in here, and then 3 of the small little file folder things, and that's it. And that would be manageable for them one day when they decide they want to take it, because, you know, I'm hearing from people all the time telling me, I don't want all this stuff, Mama. Why did you save it all? So we want to think that way early on, so we can manage our expectations of what we can keep up with, and also what they're going to want later on. So I am about to start buzzing around, picking some stuff up, and I will see you in a minute. Tackle the top of this next.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there.
Here's our update, y'all. I'm feeling better. I'm making some mental notes of things that we're going to need. I have about an hour left, so I'm about to start going through the clothes and pulling and moving things that need to come out of there. And then if I have time, I'm going to get over there and do that one. And then I'm going to start making a list of what I think we need in this room to help with the organization and some. Here's all the ones I've pulled out that are too small. She's going to have so much more room in here now. I'm still going to pull out the hangers that are that are off. And then I'm going to go through this little section, and any that will fit baby brother, I'm going to move them over here. But great clothes. I told her she needs to take them to consign them. So here is how we are leaving the room for today. I have the clothes that are too small that she can take to consign, give away, sell, whatever she wants. This piece of furniture is going to go out. So I've suggested we put a cube unit there so we can put some of the toys and the books, kind of in the cube units. They have a little area for books up here, but they have more. So I feel like if we put that on that wall, that'll give us a little bit more space. And then the closet ended up really nicely. We are going to be working on getting those bins for the top. And I even suggested maybe some of the things down there, some closed top containers. Just when you got a lid on it, they stack better and you don't have to worry about spilling as much. So here are just a few reminders of where we started when I got here this morning. And then the progress that we have made. We've come a long way. And once we get those new storage containers, the cube there, big basket for stuffed animals, the bins in the closet, it's going to be even more dramatic of a change and make it so much more functional for them. So I'm really excited to get a jump start on this, and I have some ideas for next time. And we'll add all those little finishing touches to make it such a special space.